Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers says he got the COVID vaccine. He also said a lot of his teammates have not, and he believes it's a personal decision. He's not going to judge them for it. Rodgers says a lot of research went into his decision to get vaccinated.
Are you vaccinated, and what's your stance on vaccinations?
Yeah, I've been immunized. There's a lot of conversation around it, around the league, and a lot of guys who have made statements and I've made statements, owners who made statements. There's guys on the team that haven't been vaccinated. I think it's a personal decision. I'm not going to judge those guys. There's guys who have been vaccinated that have contracted COVID. So it's an interesting issue that I think we're going to see played out the entire season.
This is Hoppin Bob. You run afoul of Bob, you run afoul of me. You run afoul of Bob, you run afoul of me. You run afoul of Bob, you run afoul of me.
This ain't the military where you were drafted. You chose to play basketball. You chose to enter the NBA. You chose to sign that contract as a free agent to go to the Brooklyn Nets. You chose Brooklyn as your destination. You chose the Nets franchise to represent. You asked KD and James Harden to come on board with you in Brooklyn to establish your own legacy, and then you leave them hanging. Because of what exactly? Your own individual principle? I am not calling Kyrie Irving stupid. Kyrie Irving, I happen to believe, is an intelligent brother whose heart is in the right place. But now you've regressed to an alarming level of self-righteousness. It not only makes you look hypocritical and untrustworthy, it makes you look what I know you are not, which is flat out stupid, which is flat out stupid, which is flat out stupid, which is flat out stupid.
We have breaking news. Aaron Rodgers has tested positive for COVID-19. As Tom Pelissero reported, he will be out Sunday versus the Chiefs. The Packers are 7-1. Stephen A., we'll go around the table starting with you. Your reaction?
Well, it's unfortunate. I mean, it's not major. Well, it's unfortunate. I mean, it's not major. Well, it's unfortunate. I mean, it's not major. The 7-1. If they were to lose the game to Kansas City, which, by the way, I'm not sure they will. We'll see what Jordan Love's made of. But it's just one game. They'd be 7-2, worst case scenario. If this were an injury that was going to leave him out for weeks or whatever, that's fine. But he just out because he got the Rona. But he just out because he got the Rona. But he just out because he got the Rona. I mean, that's what it is. He got the Rona. He came down with the Rona, hanging around with the Raw team, probably Pat McAfee. For all we know. I love Pat. I'm just playing around. No, but Pat around. I mean, listen, I'm watching Pat on SmackDown. I told you doing a good job, but you hanging around with a bunch of people now. I mean, Pat McAfee's around a lot of people. Okay, so I'm just saying, even though that was a video interview that he did with Aaron Rodgers, as opposed to being in person, I'm just saying you got the Rona somehow, some way. Could happen to any of us. We got the Rona.
Back to the craziest thing you said.
He got the Rona.
Go back to the craziest thing you said, which is this is not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal to me either.
Maybe back shows, Kimberly.
It's not a big deal to me either.
So why are you looking at me like that?
Keyshawn agrees with you.
No. I'm saying is you looking at me like you looking at me, but you just looking at him with the regular look. You just getting the regular look. You looking at me like I'm crazy. crazy.
Here's why I
Wait,
think
because it's just one game?
But if you can contaminate me with COVID,
I need to know.
I do have a right to know
Fair point.
if you vaccinated or not. I got a right to know that. We're not asking about anything else. We're asking about COVID and COVID only.
Yeah, you know, the privacy issue, I get. I don't really want, unless it affects me, I really don't want to know anything about your personal. I'm just not in your business. None of my business.
None of my business.
Would you want to know if Stephen A. and I weren't vaccinated and you had to come do the show with us without a mask on?
I know you're vaccinated, though.
But I said, would you want to know? Because it's a similar situation.
You're damn right I would.
I would
Yes.
want to know. The reason I say that is if we're talking about on the field and that part of it, it's one game. And when you start to look at the teams that are potentially in front of them, Arizona, they took care of in a head-to-head. The New Orleans Saints, we don't know what that's getting ready to be, right? So if for whatever reason they lose to Kansas City, they could still be in a perfect position with one of them top seeds, and they're going to win.
Before you go on, Kim, let me be very clear, okay? It's COVID, so
it's COVID.
There's a level of seriousness that needs to take to it. I'm not trying to minimize COVID.
Yeah.
I was just saying that we see NFL players, you know, they tested positive, they're coming back in 1 week. I don't mean to imply that, COVID's not serious.